All right, what's up YouTube? It's Trey. I'm back with a video, and today the video is on superheroes. Shading, if not giving the middle finger to Western Psychiatry. So, superheroes. I've always been drawn to superheroes. When I was younger, my daddy would take me to go see X-Men, and I'd see all the movies and all those things, and the Ninja Turtles and things like that. But as I got older, I was really drawn to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I do have notes over here, so if I look over here, that's what I'm looking at. But my favorite superheroes, Thor. Thor is probably number one. Chris Hemsworth is a really fine man, okay? And there's something about lightning, there's something about thunder and lightning that just calls to my spirit. There's Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. is phenomenal as Iron Man, and I love Iron Man's attitude and everything about it. Spider-Man, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. How could you not love Spider-Man? Black Widow, she's like an assassin, a spy. Black Panther, of course, which I just watched a video the other day that went through how, it's on TikTok, about how Black Panther is basically the same thing as the Lion King. But like, I'm not mad though. Like Wakanda forever, you know? So yeah, the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, I've always been obsessed with superheroes. So we love them. I love them. They have these incredible backstories. They use everything that was meant to hurt them and keep them down in life to fuel them to go forward and face off with their greatest enemies and prevail, you know, and show up for those in need and the brokenhearted and the helpless and people that need them. Like, can't you just think of a time in your life that you wish like a superhero would have been there? But really, maybe a superhero was. Maybe they just didn't look how you thought they would, because we can be superheroes anywhere we go. We can be heroes everywhere we go. Yeah, keeping us down is impossible. What is that song? We're unstoppable. So I'm sorry, I do really casual videos, so I can't play it because YouTube's not gonna like that, but I can get you the song, and I want to make sure I credit the artist. So yeah, so it's Unstoppable by the Score. Unstoppable by the Score. But back to the superheroes. They always show up on time, tear up, you know, and do what they need to do. And I've always just loved superheroes, and I've always wanted to be one. Now, level with me here. What if superheroes were real? In a sense. Imagine with me. So, superheroes didn't necessarily fly in from space. No, they were created by the almighty universe, just like everything else in existence. All that is, was, never will be. And then they were birthed into this world like everyone else, through a vessel. And then, for their protection, they were put into a deep sleep and had to connect to their source, the divine creator, and know their truth and live in their truth in order to be able to wake up and access their powers. And of course, in order to receive those powers, you have to be chosen by the almighty universe, God, the divine creators. So when these superheroes wake up, God sends their minds up to heaven. Heaven, to put it plainly, for anyone that's a little bit more abreast of terms, heaven is the fifth dimension and above, but we'll just say the fifth dimension, universal consciousness. So he sends their minds up to heaven, to simplify it, in order to reclaim their power, access their birthright, and then make it back down to earth safely where they can use these gifts. So there are many on earth that know exactly how to handle this process and to get those spiritually gifted individuals safely back down to earth after their mind is sent to heaven, after they have awakened. Now, we're talking about not about the unnatural ways with shrooms or with marijuana-induced spiritual emergence or any other drug or chemical that causes you to be able to access the fifth dimension. We're talking about the natural progression of awakening, wherein, you know, Kundalini awakening, spiritual emergence, spiritual crisis, all of those natural ways that you access the fifth dimension. That's what I'm talking about now, because that's what God ultimately wants. He doesn't want you like constantly using these different substances to access the fifth dimension instead of actually doing the work to be able to get there and stay there. So the ones that I'm talking about that know exactly how to get people safely down to earth and back, I'm sure there's many communities, but I just personally know after talking to a shaman. The shamans have an entire process. They have a community that rallies around people, these superheroes, in order to make sure that they are safe and they make it back down to earth with their mind, with a sound mind and grounded energy, and able to access and use their gifts and have those resources available to them. So I still want to learn more about the incredible shamans and shamanic culture, because I am one of those spiritually gifted individuals, and I had the experience of having a spiritual emergency and accessing the fifth dimension and coming back down ungrounded, and then having to deal with Western Psychiatry's BS and antipsychotics and depression and dang near suicide and all that comes with it, and the pipeline to homelessness and all of that. But I also have this February had a spiritual emergence in which I learned how to ground myself. I did the research myself. I'm not gonna put it all on me. I'm clairsentient, so I did have the proper supplements, natural supplements that I needed to take, be dropped into my spirit, and grounding meditations and all of these things. So, but imagine there is a way to get the spiritually gifted from heaven back to earth with their gifts intact. There is a way. There's people that do it. There's families that know how to take care of this, that know how to cater to the spiritually gifted to keep them out of psychiatric wards, because psychiatric wards are literally hunting grounds for the spiritually gifted. Because many of our homeless people, many of our schizophrenics, schizoaffective, all of those types of personalities, they're spiritually gifted, and their hallucinations are not hallucinations at all. There's no such thing as a hallucination. A hallucination is a visual of the spiritual world, and that is because you have spiritual sight. And you see scary things when you access lower dimensions where lower vibrational entities exist. I've never seen anything scary because I'm a high vibrational being, and I've accessed the higher, fifth dimensional, high vibrational energy. So I see people just like normal people every day walking around, things like that. So when you have superheroes or someone that's spiritually gifted, what's going to come with that, unfortunately, of this world? Then there's going to come jealousy, unenlightened trash that find out about the real life superheroes, the spiritually gifted, the psychic, if you want, the psychic intuitives, and people being chosen by God. And just like the father of lies and the corruption of this matrix, Satan or Lucifer, they become jealous because they are not chosen, and they haven't put in the work, and they're arrogant and they're ego driven, and God doesn't choose people like that. So they're being mad because they're too lazy to prove themselves worthy and be chosen. And so they infiltrate a system meant to help those that are battling mentally. They found these superheroes, and instead of teaching them the very natural, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. I gotta stop saying I'm sorry when I'm not. I'm not. I gotta take a drink of tea. I'm not sorry for that. See, I'm still unlearning things, but instead of teaching these spiritually gifted individuals after a spiritual emergence, the very natural heaven-sent methods to ground them back on earth, they tell them they're crazy. They call them auditory and visual hallucinations instead of clairaudience. And I can't remember what the clair is for sight, but that clair as well. They pump you with antipsychotics that weaken / eliminate your spiritual gifts. They alter your mood. They slow down your brain. They stigmatize you. They make you ashamed and embarrassed and sometimes incapable of even getting your words together to express yourself like I was. Who is they, you ask? I mean Western psychiatry. In every case of psychosis they probably ever diagnosed. I have to do my research on that. I don't want to speak too soon. There may be a thing called psychosis, but what I do know is within all those cases of psychosis, there are a lot of spiritually gifted individuals, and I think probably all of them, but I don't want to speak out of turn. So a lot of spiritually gifted individuals have been diagnosed with psychosis and then expressly forbidden from the very thing that will help them the most, meditation. Grounding is the most important thing for a spiritually gifted individual, especially the more gifts you have, the more grounding that you need to do. You need to ground your energy here on earth, which was a big problem for me because I have many spiritual gifts, some that I haven't even gained access to yet. So, people that have a history of psychosis are literally not allowed in some meditation courses and classes because everyone's drinking Western psychiatry's Kool-Aid. Well, joke's on you. I am here. I am spiritually gifted. I've been through 2 mental institutions and 3 hospitals, one while being grounded and one while being ungrounded. And my ancestors and the divine creator were with me the entire time as I accessed the 5th dimension, because that's how you talk to them. And I am a spiritually gifted superhero. I am spiritual royalty, and you know my family history. So I'm not gonna let up ever until we reach the spiritually gifted that are in the streets homeless, uncared for, and laughed at. Well, I'm gonna be laughing at you, Western psychiatry. And I will run after every soul whose life you ruined, and I will be suing you as well. So, to put it in a nutshell, my current predicament is I lost my job, I lost my car, I lost my apartment. I just got my old job back. I'll start next month. But in the meantime, in between time, as the divine creator is so graciously working for me in preparing my financial abundance, I do want to reach out to see if anyone is in the blessing business to help with the kingdom work that I'm doing. I have reached out on other platforms asking for donations. And of course, people are really skeptical. They want to know what I'm going to do with the money. So I do have an Amazon wish list if you would just be more comfortable just buying me something directly so you know what your money is going to and you don't have any wariness. But if you are psychic and intuitive as well, please feel free to check my energy because it's right. Because I do everything by the book and I'm never going to come on here with some funky energy. That's never going to happen. What's another thing? I'll have a GoFundMe with kind of my complete story of being at the pinnacle of financial health in my life, and basically coming from nothing, and now I'm coming back. I'm the ultimate comeback story. So I will have my Cash App, my Venmo, my GoFundMe, my Amazon wish list down below. And if all you can send is energetic love and comments on this video, that is completely fine with me. I love you to life. But if you can donate anything, every and anything that I do is for the kingdom. Everything that I buy, right now, the brands that I wear and the things that I have are kind of what I have, but I am financially abundant and blessed, so I will be mindful with that money. I will be giving back to our community. I'm going to be doing amazing things because everything that I do, everything that I say, everything that I breathe, eat, sleep, is for the kingdom of God. And I love you all so much. I don't know who's going to make it over here to YouTube. I know most of my people are on Facebook, but I'll let you know. In love and light, Tre is out.